Hey guys, Ryan Bailey for Charlotte FC. This is Between Two Pints, and joining me today we have a former MLS striker and current Charlotte FC North America scout, Ryan Johnson. Ryan, how are you today?
How you doing, Ryan?
I'm doing very good. Thank you so much for joining me. What's happening today? What are you drinking there?
It's a little early for me, so just H2O.
Fair enough. Never too early for me, sir. Well, why don't we start off with explaining a bit about your role with the team with Charlotte FC. How are you helping to build our inaugural roster?
Well, currently, I'm being brought to speed with, the team has been together for over a year now. So I'm being brought up to speed right now of just the different targets that we have on the different regions. So, putting a lot of time in watching games every day, going to live games, MLS games. And so, my role is basically the North American, Caribbean, Central America, South America region. So, I'm just watching those games and identifying players every day.
And how has scouting changed, or is it different during COVID? Has it forced you to work differently or work smarter in some ways?
Yeah, I would definitely say work smarter. I think things are starting to loosen up, so we're able to get to a lot more live games now. So the travel is going to definitely pick up. But with Y-Scout and Instat, just those different platforms, we're able to see every game, at any time of the day. So hasn't changed that much, but whatever way that we can stay on top of games, that's how we do it.
Definitely so. Now, how exciting is it for you to be on the ground floor with a brand new team, knowing that your work could help shape the squad? It must be pretty exciting.
Yeah, definitely. As I get older and, I had my career as a player, just seeing how, teams are put together, from the ground floor up. It's just an amazing opportunity to be a part of this team and project. And, I never really thought that I would be in this kind of position after I was playing, but I obviously want to be a part of the game in some capacity. So this is just, this is a dream come true for me to be able to, have a part in building this team and seeing how we compete 2022.
Definitely. Now, you mentioned you had a 15-year professional career and you moved into the world of scouting. What was it that made you make that transition? When you were a player, did you notice the attributes of other players? You had an eye for it, do you think?
Yeah, I think most players, the way that we see the game and just, naturally, we're always going to identify, good players. And, for me, when I was a younger player, I would definitely take notice to the older players and just kind of see what they do really well and take, the really good things that they do in their game and try to put it into mine. So, now when I'm, identifying players, it's kind of the same mindset where you look at what they do really well and you see how they can help, the team and basically what they do, pros and cons to, for every player, because not every player is perfect, so you just try to envision, what they can do in the right team, the right tactics, and, and go from there.
Definitely. Now, talking about your professional career, I want to know the best or the toughest opponent that you ever faced.
For me, Thierry Henry was my guy growing up. Watching him just destroy the Premier League and just Europe in general. So getting the opportunity to play against him in MLS was big for me. I was able to trade jerseys with him, after our game, and that's probably one of the bright spots in my career. So he would be number one on my list.
Wow, that's a pretty good number one, if I don't say so myself. How about your best career moment? Was it facing up against Henry or something else?
Career moment. Maybe my first goal for Jamaica internationally. That was a big moment for me against Argentina, down in Argentina. Rest in peace, Maradona. He was the coach at the time. So that was a moment to score the first goal against them. We ultimately lost the game 2-1. But that was my first international goal, so I'll never forget that.
Wow, a great honour to represent the country, of course. I've got to ask, when Maradona's on the sidelines, can you hear what he's shouting? Does he have a presence from the sideline?
No, Definitely has a presence. I was able to shake his hand after the game, so that was cool. But you know, when you're in it, I mean, I was so nervous. I didn't even know what to do with myself. You know, I was just trying to focus, you know, and do my job during the game. And you know, it was, you know, one of my first games, probably my second game with Jamaica at the time. So, you know, I was too nervous to even think about anything like that.
Wow, what a fantastic game that must have been. Now, Ryan, you've played in Sweden, you played in China, you played in South Korea, as well as in MLS, of course. So I guess it gives you a good perspective on different soccer cultures. Does that help you as a scout?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, just understanding just the level of play in those different regions, you know, in different countries. You know, I was fortunate enough to travel a lot and just see how the game is played in many different countries and you know, even in Europe as well. So I can have a pretty good idea of the base level of most players from their development and their upbringing. So it definitely helps me in my role now and, you know, and obviously in the future.
Definitely so. Now, I've got to say, Ryan, with the Charlotte FC staff we've got at the moment, we've got yourself, we've got Darius Barnes, Dustin Swinehart, Jorge Herrera, Alex Martinez, Patrick Daka, Brian Edwards. We've got the making of a pretty killer seven-a-side team. So what do you say? You're going to come and show the rec leagues how it's done?
Definitely. I mean, I can still play. You know, I never had any kind of major injury in my career, so I can still get down. So, you know, whenever they want it, I'm ready.
I'm glad to hear it. I just hope I'm not on the opposing team. That's all I've got to say. Ryan, an absolute pleasure chatting with you today. I've got one more question for you before I let you go. How well is Charlotte FC set up for success in 2022, in your opinion? How do you think things are going?
It's going really well. You know, the staff and everyone is working every day. You know, we're constantly on meetings and discussing players, and just seeing how we're going to, you know, line up in this upcoming season. So, you know, the fans and everyone can really rest assured that, you know, we're going to put together a good team, and you know, it's going to be really exciting, you know, next year once that first whistle goes out, and you know, the attendance is obviously going to be really good. So it's going to be an exciting, you know, environment for the, you know, for the team, and you know, and for those the two states, you know, North Carolina, South Carolina, to come together, you know, and root for, you know, Charlotte. You know, it's going to be pretty special.
Man, I can't wait for it. Ryan Johnson, thank you very much for your time today. Thank you for everything you're doing for this team. Cheers.